All right. So this is about the cloud Dataverse. Actually, it's part of a larger project. This is being done in the context of the Massachusetts Open Cloud. Sorry. The Massachusetts Open Cloud.
Yep.
So, which is a project between MIT, Harvard, BU, Northeastern, UMass to create a large shared cloud between all our institutions. It's also a public cloud. And a large set of industry partners, Lenovo, Intel, Brocade, Two Sigma, Cisco, the US Air Force, and the state of Massachusetts are all sort of core partners of the effort. And this particular effort is really a shared project with Lenovo, Intel, and Brocade. So part of this is we're coming to the cloud and we have an environment where people want to spin up big data on demand. And so they can go to the Dataverse project, which Merce is going to be talking about in a minute. They can kind of browse through all the data sets. And they can sort of find, the data set they want, maybe the last 30 days of tweets. And then there's a button there which they can click on. And that will automatically go to Sahara, spin up a Hadoop environment on demand. And it'll also in parallel go to Ceph, and we made a bunch of changes in the Rados gateway. So it'll pre-patch the data into SSDs that are second tier of cache that are located in the cluster of computers where we're staying up this environment. And then the user can actually go to that environment and actually start using that big data environment. And as they're accessing it, it's using the S3A interface to access the data that's back in the Rados gateway. And so this project takes advantage of a whole bunch of different components of OpenStack and couples it together with the big data, with the Dataverse project. And I'll have Merce now describe that.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, so what is Dataverse? Dataverse is open source platform for publishing data, right? But it is different. How is it different than AWS or similar cloud solutions? So the problem with a solution like AWS to make data accessible to others is that it has a challenge to get data providers, data authors to want to share the data. So what Dataverse provides is incentive for those data authors want to share. And how does it provide that? Through two different ways. One is giving credit to the data provider or data author by just giving a data citation similar to the way that you get credit through a publication of some scientific results. So in that case, the data is also an output of your work, and you can publish it and then get a citation and credit for it. At the same time, Dataverse allows you to keep control of that data. You're not giving it to another, to a repository or an archive. Instead, you continue deciding who can access that data. You make the metadata accessible to others, so it's discoverable. Your data set is more visible to the rest of the world and discovery systems, but still you keep control of who accesses the data, to your collaborators or others, or you make it public if you want. And what we've been doing is building a community, so it's more than the open source platform, but it's a whole open source community that focuses on doing research and how data sharing can be improved, what should be the standards for metadata, working with data citation with publishers, etc., to make that a success. And since 2006, when Dataverse was launched, we've been expanding, and the demonstration of its success is how large it is now. There are 20 sites or installations of Dataverse around the world. Each one is a repository that provides data sets to the community. Those 20 sites provide altogether Dataverses, the containers of data sets, to more than 500 institutions, either universities or organizations that they want to make the data, again, accessible to others. Within the Harvard Dataverse is one of those sites or installations. It has already collected more than 60,000 data sets. There is actually a rate of a continuous increase of data publications day by day, and a rate of an average of 12 new data sets published in the Harvard Dataverse. There are about 2 million downloads of those data sets, 13,000 registered users. And we're building, again, it is an open source community, and that community it's becoming larger. In the last 2 years, we've had an annual Dataverse community meeting in Boston, and it's brought about 200 participants and contributors to the project. So with Dataverse now is a way for data distributors or data providers or authors to deposit data, provides the technology to deposit data to the repository. They get, again, the citation and the credit. They can continue controlling the data and updating it, adding new versions. And then users, others that the data users, the ones that want to make use of that data can download it either through the browser or through an API. But what we're doing with Cloud Dataverse is now bringing this whole other level of computing, be able to compute to the data directly by accessing the data set in the cloud, instead of just bringing it to your local environment and then analyzing it there or exploring it there. You can explore that data in the cloud and compute. And that's what Piyanai will talk about.
Yep.
About that.
Okay, sure. Thank you. Yep. So, okay.
You want to?
Just forward.
Yep. Okay. So, if we look at the map of Dataverse today, look at how many installations there are of Dataverse, right? What the impact of OpenStack bring to this. Let's see. Look at the map. Imagine if you have compute power. You start with datasets with all the orange dot there. Imagine you have compute power like OpenStack around it, but it's distantly, geographically impossible to try to do things promptly. And imagine if you copy it locally, if you have local datasets, and how fast that would increase your speed of compute. Let's look at what that happened here. How would I do this? I'm in Finland. I have data installation there. All the data sets are there. But then the yellow dot means that I have compute power there somehow. What if we put the cloud and we put OpenStack over it? This is what MOC is all about. We have public cloud for researchers. We combine the two. We federate among clouds there. What OpenStack gives us is Sahara. And that is, we have, that would be, Sahara means Hadoop, means Spark, means Pig, everything that you need to do data analytics. So what Cloud Dataverse bring is you can think of it as almost like a plug-in into your compute environment for OpenStack. And then you bring that to any of data sets at all that you want. So what you got reduced in compute time compared to AWS. It can be days sometimes. We leverage the flexibility of OpenStack, right? I mean, all the core services like Sahara, Nova, and also Cinder, Swift. And we also make it, this is a very simple concept, but it's have great usage. The only thing that I think is missing here is the orchestration over Sahara, which we can push a community to help us out. So if anyone interested in, come and talk to any of us here afterward, any questions, and we will also have federation session for vBrownbag, how we federate resource between two OpenStack Cloud today at 5:45. You over here, you're welcome to be here.
So,
okay.
Any questions? Oh, okay. No questions.
Thank you very much.
We'll wait.
Yeah.